In this video, we're going to talk about the stock Teradata Corporation. What I've done here is I've screened for stocks on a weekly time frame above the 4-week moving average, and they had to be above 0% above that moving average. Oh, before I start talking about that stock, this table right here is that 4-week moving average, and ascending order is the 0% all the way to however high it goes above the moving average. And over here is the alpha they've had over the last 12 months. Everything I put in here, I did put it in here, had alpha, but you can see that's changed over time. I usually subtract out about 5 to 10 stocks a week and then add about 5 to 10 stocks a week. So I get rid of the weakest ones and then add new ones. So what I'll do here is I'll just go ahead and scroll down, and you can, before we start talking about Teradata, and you can look at all the stocks above the 4-week moving average if you want to put those on your radar for the week. And this is about a $2.6 billion, $2.7 billion company. So there's a lot of upside as far as market cap goes, you know. And then the reason I like this stock is because the it's forming a bull flag pattern on a daily time frame. And that to me is a very bullish pattern, and you don't see those often. And it's all the moving averages are crossing in the right order on the daily time frame and the weekly time frame. They haven't yet on the monthly time frame, but I think they're going to. We're at the end of November here, going into December, and I think they will eventually cross on the monthly time frame. And I'll show you all those charts here in a second. But if that's all the information you need and you want to go, then that's fine too. I'm not here to hold you hostage. You can do, if you just want the stocks, you can put them on your watch list. I appreciate you coming by. All right, so all these stocks, we have about 415, 416 or so that are above their 4-week moving average. I have about 600 stocks or so in here. So 2/3 of the stocks in here are still above their 4-week moving average. That's bullish. We're still in a bullish uptrend on the market. If we go to, if we just look here, it's got a beta of 0.71, RSI is 58. We want the RSI above 50. The close from Thursday to Friday was up 1.34%. And these are the close prices, the high, the low, the average for that day, and then the high, low, and average for the year. And then we have the price off, the percentage off the 52-week low and the percentage off the 52-week high. These are in good order. And then we just have the VIX, which is in about a, we're not in a bear stage, and we're not in a greed or fear stage. We're kind of in a middle ground. If we look at the daily time frame, you can see this right here. This is your bull flag pattern. You have this big breakout, and then we retrace, and that's on some volume right here. Some relative volume. We had 6.8 million. That happened on 11/5. Now, if we go over to the right, you can see we have 3 buy signals on 11/17. That bodes well for a stock when we get 3 buy signals. This goes up. We're only 9% above our 21-day moving average, which I have selected here, the smooth moving average. And that's, as you can see, as we go back, once we broke out, that's not too high above it. It could pull back more tighter to it, and that could be an opportunity. You could always scale into a position here. You don't have to buy all at once. That's something I like to do, but you do how you do. We have the 189-day, excuse me, the 21, 63, and 189 day, they're all moving into the right order. We have the price above the 21, and then the 63 is crossing the 189. So this is all, what people would call golden crosses. And then our 5 and 13 are also in the right order, and they're above our 21 days. So our very short-term time frames are above our longer-term time frames on a daily time frame. As far as Fibonacci goes, we're at 0% because we're using the 21-day moving average, and we're breaking out to a new high. When we broke out here, we were at 28.30. Right now, we're at 28.64, which means we have nobody here who's bought that is trying to get out because they bought it, too high and just trying to get back to break even, which bodes well for a stock. On our weekly time frame, you can see our moving averages are all going in the right order. This is the 4, the 10, and the 30 and 40 week are all in the right order. The 30 has just crossed the 40 week. So that's your next time frame, a little bit longer term time frame. And these have all gone into the right order. And we are looking at the 4-week here. We're 3.51% above that. So if we stay above this and this keeps moving up, and the price holds it, you only have 3.51% of downside. If we go back to the daily too, you could use ATR stop losses. However, the 21 EMA is 8.75 and the 21 is, I think, 9%. I would never put a stop loss that's above those. I would always put it below those lines, if you're trading this 21 day or this strong momentum. But I would also scale in and then put my stop loss. You don't have to buy your whole position at one time. Now, if we go to the monthly, these are all out of order, but you can see the 3 month right here is 36. We're 36% above the 3 month. We're 34% above the 6 month. We're 25% above the 10 month. And we are 18% above the 12 month. So we do want to see those numbers change. We want to see the lowest. We want this to be the furthest number be the 12 month as far as percentage wise, because we want it all to move in the right order. But things are going to start to change for this stock as long as the uptrend continues from here. So everything gives us a sell signal, but we should be getting a buy signal because, well, at least right here, because we have the close, it will be above the 3 month, and the 3 month might have been above the 6 month, 36% and 34%. So we when this new month comes, that may change because this is on the close of October 31st, these moving averages, because we're looking at monthly moving averages there. Now, on a 5-year chart, we're looking at a 40-week moving average, just a very long-term moving average. If you look here, back in October 30th of 2020, it was 1837. The next lowest price you'll find is right here on 4/4/2025, 1973. So, if you're a position trader or somebody who holds for a long period, this is just starting to go back into an uptrend. This is pivoting the 40 week. You can see it was 2207. Now it's 2213. Prior week, went from a downtrend and it's pivoting to an uptrend with a stock going into an uptrend. Our weekly MACD is open. We've crossed the 0 line, and that's using a 5 and 35 exponential moving average and a 5 moving average for the signal line, exponential moving average. And then we go to here, we're in a downward trend. We break that downward trend and we're above it. So, this should act as support right here, just 24. And our MACD is open, but barely. And we are in we have gone into accumulation here. We actually went into accumulation back here in 9.9. Now, daily candlestick, you can see this is about 6 months for the daily candlesticks, and you can see the bull flag pattern a little better here. We have the breakout, the retracement, and then now we're going higher. And right here is 28.43 for the resistance, and we have broke above resistance at the 28.64 level. So that could act as support. You may see it fall back in and then go up. Any retracement, any pullbacks look like an opportunity to me in this stock. That's all I got for you. I hope that was helpful. If it was, consider hitting the like and subscribe button, and thank you for watching.